Hello there, Gemini. Welcome to your monthly reading. This is for the month of August, and I'd like to start off with some good news for everybody. I definitely read through all the feedback that you were sending me on all the different social media platforms, but particularly the comments here. And I understand that you wanted me to go back to the old format. So needless to say, I am switching back, and I do understand all of the concerns that you raised. This is a visual medium. A lot of you get an additional information from the cards, so I'm bringing them back. I will continue to do my intuitive development series. Hopefully there I can stretch things a little bit more and talk about more intuitive growth for all of us. And I'd like to do other things. I know you like the cards, so I thought one thing that I could do is review some of my favorite decks, and I'll be doing that in the months and weeks to come. And as an extension of all of that, normally this piece is at the end, but if you like what you see here and you like that I went back, consider donating, or at the very least liking and subscribing. The donation link is right below the video. You'll see there's an area right before the comments, and there's a link there to schedule an appointment, donate, and also follow me across social media. All of those things help support this channel. It's viewer supported, just like NPR. I really don't get a lot from YouTube. It's all from you guys. So if you do get any sort of value in this, especially if you watch your Rising Sun and Moon, which is about an hour and a half of original videos that I'm putting out each month, all I ask is $1. It makes a big difference. All of that being said, let's get into the fun stuff, which is the reading for this month. As you know, I like to begin every month with some channeled information. The way I achieve that is I select a deck of cards, I meditate, and then I either hear, see, or feel things for your sign. For you, I was feeling an awakening around the throat area, and what came through was not to be afraid, or actually encouragement, I should say. Feel empowered to use your voice to speak your mind this month. Now, for some of you, that could literally just be speaking up a little bit more. If you're kind of the quiet type or the one that listens a little bit more, this is a month where your participation, your voice is an integral part of the bigger plan for everyone else. You may not know that part yet, but you are important. Your voice matters. It may be about reaching out, asking for help if you're at a point in your life where you feel like you need that, whether it's just a feeling of sadness or more of a practical thing, needing to understand something. Don't be afraid to vocalize whatever is on your mind, especially questions. And the third piece of this is that in this communication, this openness, this opening of the throat chakra this month, I see additional opportunities for collaboration. This is in business, it could be social aspects of your life, but the more you kind of allow people to hear you, the more they're going to want to be around you and the more opportunities that are going to come your way. Okay? So really powerful month, and because you're an air sign, this should be something that you hopefully want to embrace over the course of August. Now let's take a look at the cards and see what additional insights are coming through. At this point, I normally remain quiet because I like to just look and see what kind of information the cards are yielding as well. So here we go. In addition to the cards that I just pulled, I also like to look at a catalyst. And for me, the catalyst helps tie together all of these sort of parts that we're looking at here on the table. Your catalyst this month is one of my favorites. We have the dragonfly. For me, the dragonfly indicates a period of change, of spiritual growth, of evolution. And for you, what I'm really getting when I look at this is the ability to allow this to flow through you. I'm looking at that beautiful crystal blue behind it, which is associated with your voice, the throat chakra. But for me, it's not just that. It's actually like fluid. I saw movement of water. So for you, allowing yourself to kind of ebb and flow with all of the opportunities, not kind of getting too busy, not being too quiet or too sort of stagnant. It's about basically trying to ride all of the opportunities, allow the energy to come through this month. That fluidity is going to be really important. And for those of you that wish to work on your intuitive development, for me, Dragonfly shows a transformation or this ability to kind of break through. So this could be a breakthrough month for you. As we look at the central card here, we have the Seven of Wands here. And for me, the Seven of Wands is always a reminder that although you have the energy, the wherewithal to basically deal with anything that's coming your way, it's important to delegate. And I think that's where the voice comes through this month, to also make sure that if someone is giving you feedback or insight, that you take it as an opportunity for improvement rather than just a criticism of, am I good, am I bad? No judgment associated with this. It's merely something that you can take as a sort of like a data point. But so try not to get defensive, try not to do everything. Allow others in your energy and share responsibility, share ideas, and also allow them to share with you. And that's going to be really key to your success. Now, emotions are running high this month. Right on top of the Seven of Wands, we have the Ten of Cups. And for me, Ten of Cups is all about community, love, really opening things up in the heart space as well. It can be family, but some of this could be overwhelming because this is crossing the Seven of Wands. To me, this is a gentle nudge to you to have proper boundaries. And if people are asking a lot of you, asking a lot of your time, your energy, or just kind of unloading quite a bit, because if you take a look at the cards, we literally see all of this emotional sort of energy right on top of the Seven of Wands, which if you were looking at it in a Rider-Waite rather than a Thoth deck, it would show somebody trying to keep up with everything. Now, this deck also has like valor attached to it, that word valor. And what I see with this is you're gonna have to kind of like fight for your independence, for your privacy, for your space this month. And in doing so, it's going to be good. It should heal some sort of issues that you may have with some people with codependencies, or with them just sort of like testing to see how far the limits are. And this is your chance to define them. And so basically see this as that sort of a thing. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because, again, you need to speak up. You need to almost, I'm seeing like kind of like trace a circle around you and let people know this is how far I can go this month. Anything past that, I need a break. As I'm looking at sort of things that are affecting you and energy that you're bringing into this month, we have the Two of Swords. Now, in this particular deck, you'll see the word peace on this. Now, in most Rider-Waite traditions, you'll see someone trying to decide between two paths. What I'm getting this month for you is that you're not necessarily at a point where you feel that there's a right or a wrong, and that you need to sit with a decision before moving towards that immediate feeling that I have to go there. And as I'm looking at really what the energy of the month is all about for you, it's slow and steady change, but change through balance of resources, work-life balance, balance of your private time versus how much you're giving to others, money, making sure that your expenditures are where they need to be. And with that in mind, I actually feel like this is sort of like a leapfrog month for you when it comes to money. We have the 10 of coins, the 10 of discs in this deck in the crowning position, and it is a card of success. But it's also a card of obligation and promises and following through. And I think this is where you may be called upon this month for favors, for things that you've committed to in the past. And I would say try to honor those as much as possible so that you can release that. And that's ultimately going to get rid of some of this pressure that you're feeling with the combination of the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Cups. But with both the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles here in your spread, this is a great time to meet new people. So if you're open to new romance, or if you're open to going a little bit deeper in love this month, that's definitely something I'm seeing. And in the case of who that might be, we have the Princess of Pentacles here. So it could be a strong earth sign coming into your life. Now, as we're looking at basically where the month is taking you, I have the 7 of Cups here. And with this particular card, it's really important to know what you want and what you're trying to accomplish, because sometimes you can be overwhelmed with possibilities. And in this case, you could also sort of be going too far to an extreme. Usually I see that with the 9 of Cups, but in this particular deck, that energy is coming through as well. So really try to focus on your key objectives this month in life, in health, in business, in love. Know what it is you're trying to do, because that opens up possibilities in sort of the universe when it provides. If you kind of just show up but don't know what you want, then it's kind of like you're at a slot machine and you don't know what's coming through. So clarity of thought and clarity of what it is that you hope to create, that's so important. And I think that will be pivotal in your success across the board in your life. As we look at your ego, which can be very telling, it's going to show motives, it's going to show what's kind of either helping you raise your frequency or pulling you down this month. We have the Six of Cups. So I was talking about this is a great time to meet people. You could have a reunion with an old friend, because this is a card of familiar faces. It could also be a really deep soul connection. Even if you've never met this person, you may feel this affinity like, I've known you forever. And you may have. This may be a deep soulmate that you've met again. So we have a chance for love. We have a chance for some of you for marriage, or for just a really deepening of a relationship. So I'm not seeing that much negative energy around new love or existing love, other than not taking on too much and having firm boundaries. And I think that's going to suit you well. As we look at your environment, a lot of times the environment speaks to where you live, what you're doing for a living, who you surround yourself with. This is where you need to focus this month. We have the Ten of Swords. So for me, the Ten of Swords comes through when it's a chance or it's an opportunity for you to clean things up. Yes, it can mean an ending of something. So for some of you, you could have a falling out with a friend, a loved one, or you could have a health issue coming through that makes you pay attention to your body. Sometimes this is a little bit more extreme. Sometimes it's just enough of a kick that you have to kind of change your routine. So maybe you have high blood pressure and you're put on medication, but it feels like the Ten of Swords because you feel like you're somehow failing your body or failing yourself. I want you to take this triggering event that is going to happen around you, or possibly somewhere in your body as well, and allow it to be a catalyst for change, since that's really what a catalyst is. It is allowing you to take something in one state and bring it to another. That's what the dragonfly is. And the dragonfly is tempering the energy of the Ten of Swords. Interesting that in the Thoth deck, it's called Ruin here. I see it as completion. And so this completion is going to allow you to move on to something else. If you sit in the lower frequency energy of feeling like things aren't working, they're never going to work, etc., we all have those thoughts sometimes, then you don't allow yourself to move on, you're stuck. So I'm hoping to kind of get you unstuck this month. And as we allow that to happen, then this is when opportunity comes your way. In this particular deck, you'll see the Princess of Discs is sort of a magical entity. She's able to create something. She's nurturing the earth energy. Things will grow from that. I mentioned earlier that this could be an actual person in your life. I'm seeing this, as we look at this spread, also as an element of you, of your person. And so this is basically speaking to your ability to start again. If you're a gardener, a farmer, or anyone that works outside in nature, you know that there are cycles to life and death. And things in your life have seasons too. We have seasons of success with money, success with love. We also have seasons where things are dormant. And so what I want you to do this month is to take whatever season you're in and maximize it. If things are wonderful, then harvest that great work that you've done and be happy that you're there. If they're not where you want, then use what you've learned and allow it to be a new medium. Allow that, if you want to call it sort of missed opportunities, failures, lessons, whatever, that's actually going to be a bed of success for the future. You'll know now what not to do. You'll know how to be more powerful. You'll know how to be more compassionate. And this is you basically being the Princess of Discs, the powerful creator, the manifester. And so sometimes it takes a moment of correction, of finishing something off, or again, of having something leave you for you to wake up and realize, this is what I need to do. So don't let that catalyst moment take you off path. Allow it to let you take flight instead. And the most important thing this month when we look at, for you, I'm looking at money, but this is really the Five of Swords, not the Five of Pentacles, but it came through as money. So I want you to feel that you have what it takes to do whatever it is you're trying to do. There's going to be some feelings of self-doubt, of fear, of frustration. For some of you, there might be even a misunderstanding, particularly when it comes to trying to get something done that you're passionate about. I want you to believe in yourself and to understand that you have what it takes. I keep looking at that Princess of Discs. You are the manifester. So if you believe you can fix it, you can. If you believe that you won't, you won't. Sometimes that sounds easier than you think it is, but it really is that simple. You're much more empowered than you think. So let's go ahead and expand the forecast. I like to look now at your health card, which for me is mind, body, and spirit. Let's see how this is going to affect your month ahead, and we'll see what card comes through. So your message this month is traveling. The card, as you can see, it was reversed when it came through. But when I look at the energy of this card, it's very much in the air. It's thought-based. And so what I'm seeing is movement of your understanding of where you're at with your health. This could mean, for some of you, needing to get a second opinion, needing to simply change your mind or your perception about how you are feeling, who you are, how you look. It's a change of mind that then is sort of like this key, this unlocking for a change in health. So start first within, not necessarily here. It's actually all sort of more cognitive. You're working in your brain. So I need you to sort of look at shifting your perspective this month so that internal changes, and I would even say external changes, can happen with your health. Also, when I'm looking at traveling, it's about changing the environment around you, either by movement. For some of you, this might mean that you need to go outside and get some fresh air, or that you need to clear the inside of your house so that it feels different. So I definitely think that this is a big catalyst month for health, but it starts first with a change of thought, then a change of environment, whether it's internal or external. Those are the things that are coming through. Let's go ahead now and look at your wealth, which of course can include money, but also career, and if you're retired, just opportunities in your life or your relationship with money and self-worth. All of these things are really interconnected. Okay, so here's what we have this month. We have the Wheel of Fortune, another reversal, which is showing me that for many of you, there may be a little bit of a slowdown when it comes to either how you're making money or maybe needing to spend more than you normally do. And of course, for some of you, this can bring up fears, uncertainties, or doubts. One thing that I like about the Wheel of Fortune, even in its reverse state, is it's showing you that there is we talked about sort of that ebb and flow. There is movement happening in your life with the money. If you're fighting things that either aren't working or are working, then you're kind of going counter to it. You want to sort of pay attention to what is most abundant, most plentiful, and I would say in this case, easiest to make some sort of traction in when it comes to finances this month. That's the path to take. This isn't the month to sort of overcomplicate things or to fight for something that just isn't working out. So sometimes that can mean you want to make a shift in job, but you're either getting blocked for a transfer, or if you've looked at a new job, you may be going on 5 or 6 different interviews and nothing happens. So that's a sign from the universe. Maybe this opportunity isn't the one. Look for something else. So pay attention to subtle signs and signals this month. They won't lead you astray. Let's look now at your love card and see what kind of advice is coming through for relationships and for love opportunities in your life. Remembering, of course, that it's not always romantic. This can be business, sort of how to get along with people better. It can be family, observing, again, boundaries, which we saw earlier. Let's just let the card do the walking here. So we have a card here that says, the universe works fast when I'm having fun. And for those of you that are looking to meet someone new or looking to improve a relationship with someone already in your life, what's important is to create a space where you are in a state of joy. And if that seems like a little bit of a stretch for you, I would say the most important thing is to at least be sort of playful. So looking at existing partnerships, maybe if you're married or have someone in your life that you've been with for a while, this can mean being a little bit flirty or just doing something that to them may seem like it's an impromptu or impulsive moment, but it's just sort of like, let's break up the energy a little bit and just get back to having fun. Because think of when you first meet a friend or a loved one in your life. There's this sort of rush of endorphins and you wonder, how am I going to make this happen and how do I feel and all this stuff. But then you start to do things that put you outside of your comfort level. There's this playful interplay that happens that sometimes once we've been in a relationship for a while, it can fall apart or we lose track of the fun. This month, when it comes to relationships, it's all about getting back to what was fun or what initially motivated you to spend time and energy with people in your life. Now, if you can't find that sort of happy medium again or that playful energy, then I would pull back a little bit and work on just creating joy within your life. And the importance here is to smile, to bring through that higher frequency energy of joy, and that is going to catapult you to a much better place when it comes to relationships all throughout your life. Now let's look at the ever important GPS of the deck. I call this Destiny. It's malleable though. This is something where we're looking at where you're headed, and if you like it, then you can stay on that path, and if not, this is your chance to sort of make a course correction before it's too late in the month. So let's see what the big theme or the big opportunity this month is when it comes to Destiny. And we have a communication card here. So paying attention to, I think I mentioned this earlier, but if there's any existing contracts or promises this month, this can be something that will rear its head again. So pay attention to that, observe that, release it when and if possible, because that's going to free you to do other things. For those of you that are creative or maybe even in the legal profession or a technical writer or something like that, there's a lot of energy going into documentation this month, even if you're not creative. This could be about record keeping. So I want you to pay attention to all sorts of things related to either writing or documents this month, making sure that what you agree to, what you sign, what you put into contract feels really good. And if it doesn't, then keep working on it until it's word perfect, basically, okay? Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about, and then we can wrap up this monthly session. As I said at the beginning, it's going to be ever important for you to focus on speaking your mind. I felt an opening in the throat chakra for many of you, and this could be about asking questions, again, speaking up, being an activist where it feels right, or just collaborating, or even asking someone out for a date, whatever it is. There's something here about speaking the truth. If you release this, then it's a sense of empowerment that comes. If you block it, then things can start to happen that kind of go from energy to your physical. So you could have a sore throat, you could have issues with your thyroid or your throat or your esophagus. So being able to speak up is going to help you keep a clear energy channel and also physical channel in your body. So it's really important. As we looked at your catalyst this month, remembering that any sort of change that's happening is one that can lead to more freedom, more opportunity, more transformation in your life. This is a gentle transformation month for you. But if you go with that flow, then more opportunity can come your way. I like Dragonfly. It's like the most positive version of the tower that you can get. So to me, hummingbirds and dragonflies are really wonderful examples of God and the universe making themselves present because they fly really fast, they vibrate at a high frequency, and for me, they're usually animal totems that show that you're on the right path. Let's go ahead and look at the cards one more time and review other signs and symbols that made themselves present here. As we spoke about earlier, it's important not to allow the pressure of friends, family, and expectations to weigh too heavily. It's also important for you not to take things personally. Balance things out, as we see here with the Two of Pentacles. Make decisions, but allow yourself to be at a point that you've had the time to get there, knowing that it's not necessarily about right and wrong, it's about what feels good to you, something that I talked about with another sign. I want you to have clarity of mind this month. That's going to help bring closure to things. It's going to help bring also new energy and opportunities in this month. I see a lot of growth happening with money this month with the Ten of Pentacles. You might also be meeting someone from the past. This could grow into something serious because for me, the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Cups can show an old person from the past that you decide to either maybe date this time around, or maybe it's a long lost love and this is your chance for something special. It can also just be about getting back to that playful energy that we saw and we talked about in the expanded forecast. When it comes to your environment, this is an important month for you to let go of things. For me, the Ten of Swords can be something that has come to a very punctuated end. When it comes to your body or your environment, it can be something that's causing pain or that's toxic. You want to take care of that this month, whatever it may be. When it comes to health in particular, it usually has to do with your back or your core, or usually it's pain in the back. So if there's anything that's kind of out of whack there, you can go to a doctor or chiropractor, or just focus on, again, how much stress you're taking into your life, because some of this could just be a tightness in the shoulder area. Remember that this month you have a lot of power. You can do what you want to do. You can also cut off opportunities, and that's kind of how the universe works. When you look at thoughts, they're powerful, so don't limit yourself. And finally, trust that things are going to work out. You're going to have to push through some difficulties when it comes to your money this month, and sometimes not seeing the progress that you want there. But overall, I think that you're going to end the month in a better place than you began it. So you have to have trust in that area. When it comes to your health, movement. Some of you may be sitting too much. That could be also why I see the Ten of Swords. Movement in your body, movement in your thoughts, thinking that you can get to a better place, knowing that it has to start there before anything else happens. Wealth, more movement. For some of you, you're going to have unexpected costs. For the rest of you, there's a gentle note here to pay attention to how difficult things are, knowing that the universe is going to open up opportunities for abundance, but sometimes they may be subtle, and sometimes you may be forcing or working so hard at something that isn't working that you may miss that opportunity that is right there in front of you. Joy is key to your happiness in relationships, and also just your general happiness. So for love, try to get back to a place of having fun, to being playful, to just doing things because it feels good. When it comes to destiny, looking at contracts, knowing that the written word is going to be very powerful this month. For those of you that are in a career where writing's involved, just focus on that. Make sure that you're using that gift to the maximum. So that brings our monthly reading to a close. I hope that it gave you the guidance that you needed for this month. If you ever have something that you want to talk about, a big decision or a change that's coming through, I'm happy to do that. I can also talk to you about intuitive development as well. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can look at the first link right below the video and above the comments section. That'll show rates and availability. I talked at the beginning about how important your support is to keeping this channel alive and well. So if you like what you've seen here, consider giving $1. And if you would like to really support it, there's a way to do that every month, $1 every month, and Patreon is probably the easiest method. So click that second link and you'll see great ways to give back. Of course, just liking, subscribing, and sharing what you see here is also a great way to do that as well. And finally, if you'd like to stay connected, making sure that you don't miss out on any videos, please join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also my newsletter. And if you haven't already clicked that little bell icon, please do that. That'll give you a chance to receive email updates whenever I post a new video to the site here on YouTube. So with all of that out of the way this month, each month I try to kind of find an overarching theme for every sign. This month I'm getting a little more personal with each one so that it feels more one-on-one. For you, I was really drawn to the imagery of the dragonfly. One additional message, and this is, I think, your secondary note for the month, is to spread your wings and to try new things. And that's part of what we're seeing with the Six of Cups and also with the Joy card. And so don't be afraid to try something that really opens up your heart, that makes you feel like you're free, even if there's a lot of other parts of your life where you don't have choices or you feel limited. This is going to be important for you to increase your light, and that's something that I'm always trying to remind us to do month to month. I want us to shine brightly, and I think for you that the way to do this is to find something that brings joy, whether it's speaking or writing or doing. Find your truth, speak your truth, live your truth this month, and that's going to be the key to power, success, and happiness. Wishing you much love and light always. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing to increase your light, to improve your life. I'll see you real soon. Thank you.